What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a video talking about the time that a girl I met on Tinder sold me Xanax. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Drop a like if you did. Also, I don't encourage or condone the use of Xanax. Don't do it. Don't try it at home. Let's dive right into it. So this happened a super long time ago. I'm talking like back when Tinder wasn't 18 and older and you didn't have to sign into Facebook. I don't think you did, if I remember correctly. I think it was optional. But either way, nevertheless, before Tinder was 18 and only, this was a super long time ago. I'm talking ages ago. And, I was just chilling. I didn't use Tinder very much. It was kind of like I'd get on the app, swipe a couple times, get off type of thing. And I matched with this one girl who we're going to call Alyssa. Now, Alyssa, she looked pretty cute on the app, but we'll get to that later. She looked pretty cute on the app, all right? Let's just say that for now. And, in her bio, it said she smoked. So that's a double whammy for me. If she smokes and she's attractive, then we could smoke a blunt and, the rest could unfold. So that excited me. So I swipe right, we match, we're talking. And, we didn't really talk very much. I found that she's not a very fun texter, but I was like, all right, maybe she just doesn't like to text. I know people like that. I'm kind of like that. I don't really like texting, so fuck it. Maybe she's one of those people, whatever. Maybe she's better in person. So, I decide I'm going to ask her if she wants to do something. So, I hit her up one day. We've been kind of chatting on and off for a couple days. Not really anything serious, just pretty basic conversation. And finally I ask, you want to kick it and smoke? She's like, yeah, sure. What you doing on Tuesday? I'm like, not shit. So she's like, all right, well, come here. And she gives me her address. So, I was really excited. I'm not going to lie, because I hadn't used Tinder very many times at this point. It was relatively new to me, and I'd gotten a couple matches, but this was like one of the first ones that I'd ever gone to meet up with that was like super duper hot. Like I met up with a couple people before this off Tinder, maybe one or two if I remember correctly, but they weren't like anything to rave home about, if I'm being frank here. But this chick looked pretty attractive, so I was like, oh, this is going to be a good time, and she smokes. This is going to be great. So Tuesday rolls around. It's like 2 p.m. I message her. I'm like, yo, when do you want me to come over? She's like, oh, you can come over whenever. Slides me her address. She's like, here you go. Pull up. Just ring the doorbell when you're here. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I prepare myself, of course. I bring some blunts. I bring some bud. And I didn't want to be rude, so I didn't bring like condoms, because I didn't know if this was like one of those kind of things or if this was just like kicking it. Like I couldn't quite tell what she was trying to get out of this. So I decided I'd just leave it like no condoms, Like the most I'll allow her to do is give me neck today. If it gets to that, which it never did, and I'll get to that later. So, I'm cruising over to her house. I got that extra spring in my step. My dick's ready. I'm ready. My mind's ready with my dick, and everything's going great. And I'm excited. I pull up, add about an eighth of bud with me, and some blunts. I was ready to go. I ring a doorbell just like she asked me to. Door opens. Now, there was no cars in the driveway. No cars anywhere in sight. So I was confident that her parents probably weren't home, which they weren't. She answers the door, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to sound like a dick, and I'm going to sound like such a piece of shit, and I feel like a lot of my female viewers who see this video are going to comment and hate me, or message me on Snapchat hating me, but I have to say this, okay? She answered the door, and her head was really big. Like, I'm talking not normal big. Like, her pictures on Tinder were either edited or, like, some sort of way they were from angles that didn't make her fucking head look that big. But this chick had a noggin. I'm talking a real motherfucking cranium. She had a thinker on her. So I'm looking at her, and it's the only thing I can notice. Like, she's wearing like some clothes that normally would be kind of sexy. She's got like a tank top and some shorts, so she had decent tits too. So normally I'd be looking at those if I'm being frank. I'm sorry, ladies, but oh my God, she had a thinker on her, man. She had a little cranium up there. And I just couldn't, like, oh, how do I describe it? She looked like, fucking hell, man. Her whole head just like, it was like a light bulb. Like, it just inflated. It just inflated at the top. It was like a big balloon, like the Airheads guy. It was big, man. And in the pictures, her hair was a lot longer, which is what I think might have covered that. And, when I met her, her hair was cut and, it looked a lot shorter, and she had it in a ponytail. So I was like, oh my God, like, she got a thinker. So, like, I don't mean just like a thinker. I mean, like, if she was giving me a head and I had to put my hand on the back of her head to, like, push it down, I couldn't get, like, a firm grasp. I'd only be able to hold the side of it. I'd need 2 hands to firmly grasp this cranium. But either way, she lets me in. She's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, stuff like that. Doesn't like, hug me, just says hi, and kind of, like, leads me upstairs. When you get into her house, it's one of those houses where you either go downstairs or upstairs. Like, you're just on a landing. You're not, like, in a living room or anything. So we go upstairs. Go to her room. Nobody else home. Pretty obvious. Like, dead silent in the house. So, she sits on her bed, and her room is very, like, she takes me straight to her room, right? Which I guess her intent was to smash now that I think about it. I didn't really think about it at the time because, like, as I retell this story, I kind of realized, like, yeah, it was pretty obvious she probably wanted to fuck. And she had a nice body, so I probably should have. Fuck. Either way, her head, I just couldn't get my mind off of her head. That's such a play on words. I can't even tell you what that is. But my God, bro, like, she leads me into her room, and I already had my bud with me. I had my backpack on me. I busted out. I'm like, yo, you want to smoke? She's like, yeah. I figured I have to at least be nice. I can't just literally be like, wow, you got a big fuck. Excuse me. I can't just be like, wow, you got a big fucking head, shorty, and just leave. So I figured, all right, I guess I'll smoke her up or something and just see if maybe I'm just tripping about her head. Maybe her head's not that big and I'm just seeing it weird. So, I decide we're going to roll up a blunt. So I start rolling up. I'm taking care of it. I asked her if she knows how to roll, if she wants to roll. And she's like, oh, I don't know how to roll. So I was like, okay. So I roll it up. And we're just kind of chatting, we're getting to know each other a little bit, asking her about what kind of drugs she does. And, I figured I wasn't going to get anything out of the scenario. Like, I was just going to smoke her up and leave. But as we're having the drug conversation, she mentions bars. And, at this point, I'd done bars maybe once or twice. But she seemed really into them. Like, when we got to that topic, because we each kind of named off all the different drugs we'd done, her, like, heart skip a beat. When we mentioned benzos, when we mentioned Xans, she got very excited. She's like, oh, I love downers. Oh, I love bars. And, we're talking about that. And, at this point, I didn't realize that she had any, nor did I really want any. It just kind of happened because I figured I need an excuse. I'll get to why later. But either way. So, I finished rolling this blunt. And we go out on her back deck to smoke it. She's got a really nice, like, huge, like, back, it's off the ground, really high off the ground, really nice, like, back deck porch thing. It's super cool. And we're chilling out there on these lawn chairs, smoking this blunt, just cooling it. And as we're smoking the blunt, she passes it back to me, and she's like, oh, I'll be right back. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So she runs inside for maybe 2 seconds and comes back out with I don't remember what kind of drink it was. It was like it was a soda or something. I don't know. We'll just say it was a fucking Sprite. I don't know. Pops back out with the Sprite. And just right in front of my eyes. Like, I guess this isn't that crazy, but to me, it's like, wow, that's a bold thing to do, like, the first time you meet. Right in front of my eyes, just slams it, just pops a bar. Right there. And she's, I'm like, oh, damn, like, you have some right now? And she's like, oh, yeah, I take them all the time. I like them. And, I was just kind of thinking, like, wow, not only is her head huge, she's a bartard. That's such a double whammy negative. Like, fuck. So I'm sitting there trying to think, like, okay, at this point, I really need to find a reason to leave. So, oh, man. I was really trying to run my mind. Like, how can I get out? Because we'd finished smoking this blunt. And I could tell that things were about to go south pretty bad because at the time, like, I couldn't stop thinking about how big her head was. She was, like, genuinely had a nice body. But her head, bro, I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't. So I'm just running my mind, and we're still chilling out on the back deck, and luckily I came very, very prepared. I brought a bowl with me, so we were smoking bowls after the blunt and just kind of, chilling out, talking a little bit. And, finally, after she popped the Xan, maybe like 20 minutes passed, and, we're kind of back on the topic of just general drug discussion. I was like, oh, so do you have any bars? And this was my idea. I was like, if she has any kind of thing that she can sell me, then I'm going to get it. And then just be like, oh, let me go put it back in my car, let me just go put it with, like, my stash or whatever, and just give her some reason to get out of here. So then, like, she's happy because she thinks I'm just running out there and she just made some money, so she won't be thinking about that because she got a big head, so she probably thinks about a lot of things. So, I'm like, oh, do you got any you could give me or, like, serve me or whatever, I want a couple. And she's like, oh, yeah, I could probably give them to you for, like, $4. And I was like, oh, yeah, can I get 2 of them? And she's like, oh, for sure. So I busted out. I just throw her a 10. I don't even fucking care, bro. I don't give a shit. I don't ask for the change. I hand her the 10. And she's like, oh, do you want me to break this? I think I might have some money. And I was like, here's how I did it. Instead of, being like, oh yeah, could you break that? I was like, oh, I think I might have smaller bills in my glove box. I'll check in a minute. And, I'm kind of sitting there and, I decide, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this. Like, I'm trying to think, like, am I just going to leave? Am I going to really come back? And then what? I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to quote unquote check my glove box and not come back inside. So I was like packing up my shit, making sure I had everything, put my bowl back in my bag. And she didn't say anything, but I think she was a little suspicious by the way she was watching me put my shit in my bag, because I wouldn't pack up my stuff and bring it all with me just to go grab a couple bucks out of my glove box. So I think she might have caught on before I even did it, but I was too far gone into my plan to care at this point. So I pack my bag and I'm like, oh yeah, let me go grab I think I got some smaller bills. Let me go grab them. So I already had the couple bars. I didn't even ask if they were school buses or ladders or whatever the fuck they were. I literally didn't care. I didn't ask a single question. I just wanted to leave, and $10 was a fair price. So I finally go back to my car, whip my fucking bag onto the passenger seat, hop in. I was parked in the street because I don't know, I never park in people's driveways. Like, I just have a thing about that because I hate when, like, someone's parents get home and ask you to move your car and you're fucked up already, and then you have to look like an idiot in front of them walking past. I hate that. So either way, and even if you're not already fucked up, still, it's just fucked. So, I hop back in my car very quickly, turn that bitch on, and I'm out. I'm gone. I'm talking, I left quickly, and I made sure that I forgot nothing. I think I might have forgotten my lighter there, but I don't. Fuck it. That's a worthy price too. I never gave her the smaller bills. I don't think the smaller bills existed because I don't keep cash in my glove box. I just fucking left, and I came out with 2 extra Xans. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.